This video is about how to read the New Jersey English Language Arts Standards so that you can use them for effective lesson planning. The New Jersey English Language Arts Standards are based on the Common Core State Standards. A few years ago, New Jersey adopted the Common Core State Standards, and we used them for a couple of years. And then for political reasons, they decided that, mostly having a Republican governor, they decided that we would not use the Common Core State Standards anymore, that we would adapt them to be the New Jersey standards. They are very similar. There are some differences, but for the most part, they retain the exact same structure as the Common Core State Standards. So there are 6 strands. They've broken down English language arts into 6 different areas that you need to teach. Reading literature, which is fiction. Reading informational text, which is nonfiction. Reading foundational skills, which is phonics and phonemic awareness. And writing, speaking and listening, and then language. And language includes vocabulary, and it includes conventions like grammar and punctuation and spelling. So those are the 6 areas that we teach in English language arts. Reading, writing, speaking and listening, and language are the 4 main areas in English language arts, right? Reading, writing, speaking, and listening, and language. And therefore, they have anchor standards. Those 4 sections have anchor standards. And what they are the same general standard that goes from pre-K to grade 12. What makes English language arts different than other content areas is that the standards are pretty much this exact same thing from pre-K to 12. They just get more complex. It's very different than science or social studies where you're teaching different topics in different years. In English language arts, we teach everything every single year. It just gets a little bit more complicated and the texts get a little bit more specific. You can tell what the anchor standards are because they start with the code NJSLSA. So that's New Jersey Student Learning Standards, A.R1. So this is going to be a general standard that would be what everybody eventually learns throughout their 13 years in school. It's different than the grade level progress indicators. Okay, so again, the anchor standard, you can tell it's the first page of each section and it's NJSLA. You don't want to use that for your lesson plan because it's very general and it's not going to help you to know what you need to do for your particular grade level. Instead, you want to turn the page, and on the next page are the grade level progress indicators. And you can tell them because they have a grade level number. So RL 1.1 means reading literature, first grade, first standard. And you can see what I did here is showed you how we teach the same thing in different grades. It just gets a little bit more sophisticated. So in first grade, it's ask and answer questions about key details. In second grade, we ask and answer questions and it's specified who, what, where, when, why, and how. In third grade, we ask and answer questions and make relevant connections. In fourth grade, they refer to details and examples in a text and make relevant connections when explaining what the text says explicitly and when drawing inferences. So fourth grade is the first time that we start learning about inferences. In fifth grade, this standard adds quoting so that we actually quote from the text. And in sixth grade, we cite textual evidence. So we teach children how to make citations. So you can see that it's the same standard, but it gets more complicated through each grade level. So when you're creating your lesson plans, you want to use this grade level progress indicator. So you choose the grade, you go to the correct grade level for your standards, then you go to reading literature, and then you pick which grade level progress indicator you're going to use in your lesson. There are different sections, so these progress indicators are actually grouped together. So you'll see when you look at the standards, there are these headings, and the headings, again, they group things together. So there are 3 standards that deal with key ideas and details in the reading literature standard. Then there are 3 that deal with craft and structure. There are 3 that deal with integration of knowledge and ideas. And then there's 1 that's the range of reading. So each of the standards have these subheadings, so you can see how the standards are grouped. Why is that important? Because if you're trying to pace your lessons and build one lesson on another lesson, it helps to use some of the standards that are grouped together, because these are sort of the natural groupings on how they go together. So that's the overview of how to read the New Jersey Student Learning Standards for English Language Arts.